Hey, welcome to Candid Conversations with Sky. So we're out here at Grant Park, me and my bestie Latoya.
Hi.
So we wanted to talk and dig into finding your worth and relationships. And what is that a topic?
That is a topic.
So we can go back as far as you want, but I would say most recently in
Yes.
relationships, um, I just recently learned within like the last 5 years that loving yourself is the ultimate love affair in the relationship. And if you don't have that, then you know it's gonna be imbalanced there, and I don't think you feel totally fulfilled.
Exactly. I do know for a fact that loving yourself is very important. Falling in love with yourself, knowing what you like, what your expectations are, what you're not settling for, your standards, everything has to, play a good part with yourself first and then getting into a relationship with someone else.
Yeah, definitely. Because a lot of times we bring our broken parts to a
Yes.
relationship, and then we expect the other person
To fix
to
it.
do the work.
Right, right.
And I think you know that's not how it's meant to go, because you don't ever think about it. Do you ever really tell somebody like the deepest, darkest, most sensitive thing about you? I don't.
No, no, no.
I'll tell you certain
We
things.
reserve those things.
Yeah, I'll tell you certain things, but for the most part, you're, you know, all of that dark stuff, that stuff that I feel kind of embarrassed to be feeling, I'm definitely not sharing
Yeah, a lot of people keep those things to themselves. And, we do want to be more open and be able to discuss anything with the person that we're trying to be in a relationship with. So we have to embrace those, even those things that we feel that are so, you know, deep and dark. We need to correct those things and move forward in a relationship.
that. Absolutely. You know,
Mhm.
but I think one of the greatest things also, just outside of loving yourself, that I've learned is detachment.
Yes.
Detachment.
Detachment.
Just Google it.
Exactly. Hmm.
Because really, okay, everyone, I'm going to ruffle some feathers real quick for you. Because everyone feels that, well, I won't say everyone, but a lot of people feel like once you get in a relationship, you're supposed to um, automatically like be a martyr for the other person. You
Mm,
know,
that's a
let me
good word.
sacrifice everything about me to
Hmm.
prove how much I love you. And
Hmm.
I think that the biggest way you can prove how you can love someone else is to show like this is how much I love myself, and I have healthy boundaries, and I know how to handle my emotions. I know how to communicate properly.
Hmm.
There's a lot of different aspects to it
Hmm.
that um, you have to look at in terms of determining like is this a true compatibility, or
Exactly.
is this just me seeing myself as a mirror in someone else and my wounded places and
Hmm.
trying to heal that in someone else?
Exactly. You know what? I truly would like you to touch on the mirroring part because those are some things that I've struggled with, not even realizing what it meant or how I could, use it to my benefit for my next relationship.
Oh, absolutely. So this is what I believe about mirroring. So relationships, all of us are meant to get something from someone else, even if you feel like you can't learn anything from this person. Like this person is a complete idiot.
Hmm.
Can't learn nothing from them. I disagree with that. Even if you don't like what a person has to say, there's always something if you are objective when you listen that you can take,
Okay.
from what someone else is saying.
Right.
But when it comes to relationships, the people that you pick, if you think about it, is something within inside of yourself that you are identifying with in that other person, and so that's your attraction to them. You
Hmm.
know,
Right.
um, and then once you're in the relationship with them, think about, if you just go back, think about the arguments that you've had with
Okay.
previous spouses.
Okay. I
Okay,
can.
so like for example, I would get irritated when a person would not listen to understand, but listen to respond. Like so that they could pick out something that would like listening out to be able to tell me, hey, I'm gonna call you on, you know, looking a way to win the argument. Basically.
Okay. Versus actually
Trying to understand
understand your what you're putting out there, your concept or your
my perspective.
perspective about it.
Yeah, my experience, should I say?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times, if you're honest with yourself, it's about feelings, right?
Exactly.
So how I feel is not necessarily a fact, but they're legitimate.
Right. For you as your own
Absolutely,
person.
your
Yes.
feelings matter,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to take into account how we're feeling because our body gives us these feelings to let us know that we're not in alignment with ourselves, with our highest
Exactly.
selves. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why you're angry. That's why you're
Mm-hmm.
frustrated. That's why you're
Mm-hmm.
upset. What is it that you're seeing the situation like
Mm-hmm.
that's creating a resistance for you to what is happening in that moment? Because what's going on inside of other people has nothing to do with you personally.
Exactly.
So why do we personalize those things?
That's right. Like, why did I sit there and continue to argue about things that I cannot fix?
That person has to want to make that person has to want to make the changes that will make them happy with themselves,
Right.
not happy with you,
Exactly.
happy with themselves.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that's the only person who is guaranteed to be in the relationship with you.
With you. Right. That's right.
And when it comes to our, you know, um, humans,
Exactly.
so I try to look at things like this when it comes to detachment because that's what we were talking.
Yes.
Um,
Just like we
detach.
can embrace, we need to learn how to detach.
Yeah, I'm open to, you know, um, I don't try to pretend that I know
Mm-hmm.
who who's gonna be right for me or how to pick because baby girl, I have picked a couple of not the best connections
Right.
for me.
Same here, unfortunately.
And I have drugged the bad connections right on out
Mm-hmm.
in hopes that someone will be like, have this like light bulb moment and
Mm-hmm.
be like, I'm the one for them.
Some type of epiphany. I get it. Right.
Of course,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been disappointed like a time enough to too many in my little time being alive
Mm-hmm.
that, it's just at this point. If if I want something, how much do I feel like I deserve that?
Okay.
You know, and so where detachment comes in in is in the area of if you're with somebody and you develop feelings for them and you're like, this is an awesome person, I can see myself with them, or in your mind sometimes you just fantasize playing a whole life with a person.
Exactly.
You
And
know,
it sometimes that's what my issue has been. Um, this whole fantasy in my head. I have so many expectations when I'm with someone, and I'm like, well, I'm wishing and hoping that it plays out like this, but in reality, it's not. It's not the fantasy in my head at all.
right? And you rationalize that,
Exactly.
but when the detachment comes in, when you're saying, hey, I'm recognizing that this isn't ease, it is resistance
Hmm.
because I am trying to
Make it that
make
fantasy.
you
Yeah.
um, treat me or be or live within the fantasy I created in my head, which is
Exactly.
not fair to said
Mm-mm.
other person because they can't see that. They don't see that. But the one that is for you, I feel like is just for you. It is free.
Exactly.
it just fits. It just makes sense. It just
Yes.
happens.
No,
It's
you don't
no
have to
effort.
force it.
Yeah.
Right. It
Not to
happens.
say now let's clarify.
Hmm.
When it comes to marriage, because I've been married, you've been married,
Yes.
we do understand even in a great connection,
Hmm.
there is effort that still has to be put in, work that needs to be done, a
Oh,
lot
for
of
sure.
forgiveness, a lot of understanding,
Yes.
a lot of
Compromising.
oh,
Oh my
absolutely,
goodness.
like so many
Yes.
things that go into that. So, I get that part, but at what point do you say when you are dating someone or even decided to marry someone? Because I know people who have jumped the gun just like immediately got married
Oh.
and then realized like shortly after like, oh, this was really opposite
Not
of
what I
what
was
I
expecting.
thought I was
Right.
getting.
Hmm.
And so, and it happens when you don't take the time to really try
Get
to,
to know a person. Yeah.
right, or just
Hmm.
see a person in their, get them past their representative phase, because
Okay.
we all
Yes.
do that.
We have that. We do have that. I'm guilty. Right. I'm
We
guilty.
all want to put our best foot forward and make sure that everybody is, um, you know, impressed by, if we put on our best voice and bring
Yes.
out our best hair and clothes and what I'm
Yes.
saying, we keep it made up and we don't really, bring our true selves out
Exactly. At the
first.
beginning, right?
You
And
know,
throughout.
we don't go without makeup.
That's right.
We pop out like really cute,
Exactly.
and then we make a person think like that's how
Wow.
much we like to dress up. Or,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna be honest with you,
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
I
I'm a
be
real
trying to be
plain Jane
comfortable.
too. I just want to be comfortable and
Yeah, these days.
clean.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a hater by far. If you want to put that makeup on,
Put it on.
baby, can you put some on me sometimes? Cause I just don't got the
Right,
energy.
right,
Can you
right,
get these
right.
dark circles for me? Can you hit these highlights? Get these
Right.
cheekbones, baby.
That's right.
Help me draw these eyebrows. Cause I'm gonna tell you, I'm dot.
Hmm.
I'm dot.
That's right.
I don't
Hey.
have nothing. But I don't have no eyelashes. But listen, I just feel like I'm okay with myself. And as a matter of fact, you know, that's part of it too. When you are so confident or comfortable within yourself, it's like I really don't need an outside person to
Exactly.
validate me,
To validate you. That's right.
and I'm
And
able
that's
to let it
exactly
go.
where I'm at. I am where I don't need any validation, any acceptance. I am loving me, myself, and I. And it's all about me right now. And it may sound a little selfish, but sometimes you have to back it up, take care of yourself, know what you want, learn what you want for yourself, and then move forward.
I'm gonna say take that selfish moment,
Yes,
please and
yes,
thank you,
yes, yes.
because that's another irritation to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's because people will try to manipulate you into believing that you focusing on yourself
It's a
is
bad thing,
selfish.
and it's not.
A certain level of selfishness has to occur for people to accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. I
Hmm.
mean, because
If they want
if
the real, genuine you, absolutely.
let me focus on the things that I want to do in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and then you should be actively doing those same things.
Exactly.
you know and I would love it that a partnership would mean that we came together on projects, like if
Mm-hmm.
I could utilize something of your expertise and vice versa, and I can assist you in your efforts and you can assist me in my efforts. But you can't be like, oh, um I passed the torch and now your focus is 100% on what I need, because that's
Mm-hmm.
not fair to the other person.
It's not.
And if you
It
feel like you're
isn't.
doing that to somebody, detachment is just saying, hey, listen, I'm not being fair. It's not saying
Exactly.
anything necessarily about the other person. I'm not able to even be fair to you
Mm-hmm.
because I am so engrossed in the
Mm-hmm.
things that I'm trying to accomplish for myself and my personal
Exactly.
goals that I don't have what you need or what you're
Mm-hmm.
looking for. I don't have it to offer.
Okay. Right.
So I think more times people should say that out loud to another person. Because I've been in relationships where it was drug,
Oh, drawn out.
drug for nothing.
Wow.
Because you don't want to tell somebody that you don't want them.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Like, look,
Yes.
baby, it's gonna hurt my feelings. I get it.
Right.
But hurt my feelings though. Like,
Right.
you think it's gonna be less harmful if
Right.
you wait a year and a half or
No
two?
way.
Like, no, dumbass.
Right.
Let me know up front, could you? Like, do me that solid and just tell me.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Let me go ahead and begin my healing process of getting over
Exactly.
you and your situation
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
present myself. Now, that was where I was talking about the mirror. You said go in deeper.
Yes.
So when you go ahead and detach from things that are not meant for you,
Mm-hmm.
things that don't work, go ahead and say, okay, now let me take a step back. This situation didn't work. However, what were the qualities in this individual that I was extremely attracted to, that
Mm-hmm.
I saw it as a long-term possibility?
Mm. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that's the mirroring that I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, what in this person did you see in you? See, it's all about the qualities in you that you enjoy about you, that you are
Exactly.
seeing in another person, and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, that matches well with me. That goes. Think about your
Mm-hmm.
thoughts when you get with a person that you feel
That's what
like
you're thinking.
you're 100% compatible with. What do you start thinking? You start thinking about the things you enjoy and how they would complement
Yes.
those things you enjoy. It's never about them. It's all about you. Think about
Yes.
it.
It really truthfully
When it doesn't work for you, why is it? Because the
Mm-hmm.
things about that person
Back.
combat the things about you that you enjoy.
Right. Wow. I'm telling you, you hit the nail right with the hammer with that, Summer. I understand the mirroring part because the things that I found out that I did not like about my um, spouse was some of the things that I actually enjoyed. However, it was a lot of different, uh, um, I would say, not abuse, but it wasn't modest. Everything was overbearing at the time. So now that I know this, um, I can go further and seeing when I'm with other people, what I'm looking for, and you're just looking for yourself and other people. I get it.
It is.
Yeah.
You're really just looking for an extension of yourself.
Exactly.
And then that is something you would want to become one with.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest,
Mm-hmm.
who wants to become one with something that's going to take you away from your goals and dreams?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
seriously, if we just go ahead and put it out all on the line,
Mm-hmm.
you really want somebody who supports your values, your beliefs,
That's right.
your relationship that you have, your family ties. Someone, ideally we want to pick a person
Mm-hmm.
who just automatically kind of just flows with what we already got going on.
Exactly. But
We don't want to
however,
have, sometimes there's a grand scheme of love that,
mm-hmm.
comes out of nowhere, and you end up finding a person who shakes the whole shit up.
Mm.
And then they buck against everything in your life.
Right.
But I think a little small part of you wanted that.
In
Is
yes.
something that you go for. Because
Mm.
most people don't want to be in a relationship that's going to pull them apart from the relationships that they value.
Exactly.
And if I got to date somebody that nobody in my family likes, and I want to be around my family and be able to bring my spouse,
Right.
gotta let you go, babe.
Exactly. See?
Because I want to be able to do things I do with my
Yes.
family.
That's what you
And
enjoy.
I don't want you shitting
That's
on
what
that.
you love.
Yeah, that
Yes.
means that's a negative
Mm-hmm.
experience that I'm having
Mm.
in the relationship, because I'm sacrificing something that I don't feel
Should be sacrificed.
right,
Yeah.
that I want to sacrifice. That's not where I want to. I don't want to lose everything and just only have that one person.
Exactly.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to be real with ourselves in all these relationships.
Yes, really. I'm talking about so transparent, you know, and being able to just, really truthfully say what it is that you want, what your expectations are, where you're going, your morals, your values. I mean, all of that is very important. And
Absolutely.
the other person should be sharing some of those similarities. And even if they aren't, are you willing to compromise with the differences? You know, being married for a very long time, I've learned that it does take a lot of compromising. It's a lot of sacrificing, and the good kind. Not everything is bad. It was good. Um, but now, in this portion and section of my life, I'm just really working on myself. Again, that is very important. It's kind of cliche. You always hear, you can't love anyone until you love yourself, and that's so true. You have to love yourself first before you can go out there and expect someone to love you, and you loving that other person. So, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I really, honestly, for a long time, felt like I did love myself.
Mhm.
Um, until I started looking at the things I was willing to accept from other people,
Mm.
and
Mm.
that's when I started realizing, well, you know what? Maybe I don't value myself as
Mhm.
much as I thought I did,
Right.
because
And it takes time.
and it takes just addressing things like it.
Mhm.
It's hard to correct something if you don't notice that you're doing it.
Exactly.
Um, let me fix this light. Fell out a little
Mhm.
bit. Anyways, yeah, that's better.
That's better. Mhm.
So yeah, for me, I did notice that I was taking a lot of things that I shouldn't have to take. You know, like part of it is it's a misconception that a woman has to take a lot or hold a man down while he drags her through the mud. And
It's
and remains
unacceptable.
loyal. Um, you know,
Mm.
to prove that she loves him, and then he's supposed to just eventually see that
Mm.
she's the one who stayed down and then love her for real. Like, throw the whole man away. Okay, throw him in the trash. When
Goodbye.
I got when I got married, let me tell y'all a little story. When I
Okay.
got married, I was 19 years old,
Ooh, yeah, that's young.
pregnant and barefoot is how I got married.
Okay. Okay.
9 months pregnant and barefoot,
Wow.
or 8 months. But it was absolutely crazy what I allowed, within that marriage. Like, I wasn't marrying somebody who could afford to get married.
Oh,
He
okay.
didn't have no job.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
had slipped up, saw a cute guy at the mall.
Mhm.
I'm a kid. I have a kid, mind you, already, because I had my first daughter at 15.
Okay.
But I'm doing, for me, good for a person my age, because I was 18 years old. I had my own apartment with my sister. We were roommates. I had a 3-year-old daughter. I worked at the credit union bank. You
Mhm.
know, um, I didn't have my own car, but I had just moved from Georgia to Texas, and so I was in a whole new state, city,
Mhm.
doing my thing, and I was making decent money for a person my age at that time,
Okay.
and so it was cool. Of course, he still lived at home with his parents.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because we kids for real.
Right.
I just had
Right.
a more adult lifestyle.
Right.
Even his mom thought that he was at a grown ass woman's house,
Right.
because
Mm.
she couldn't figure out
Mhm.
who would be able to have,
Right.
you know, this much freedom at this age.
Okay.
You
Gotcha.
know, until I was like, no, I'm the same age as your son.
Okay. Right. 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 Right.
But I don't think she really cared for that, because I was a lot more advanced.
Okay. More
He was
mature.
just like fresh out of high school with his thing to do. He was working at the car wash when I met him, and kid shit. No regular rinky dink job, and playing basketball every day.
Gotcha.
I'm going to work. I got a kid to raise. I got a
Taking
different
care of the
lifestyle.
home. Right.
Yeah, I got shit.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no. I'm not calling on my parents.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know,
right.
they wouldn't take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, having that level of independence always for so early on,
Right.
it made me feel like um, it was hard to relinquish, just get with somebody and relinquish, um, you know, our strength or dominance of us. Like I've been leading this pack for a while. Like I can't just drop the ball and
Right.
let you
Right.
do it. But when I got married, I was thinking that was something that I was supposed to do because the church had told us,
All right.
better to marry than to burn, and
Yes.
that basically this was the route we was gonna have to take or die basically.
Right.
So we was like, okay, but we really didn't understand it, and we wasn't ready
Right.
for it, and
Mm-hmm.
all we knew was that we was having a kid, and then I got two kids at this point.
Okay.
So,
Right.
you know, but we were very violent towards each other. Like our conversations went like, uh, you said the wrong thing, chunk.
Oh
You
wow.
know,
Yeah.
you did the wrong thing, chunk back at you. It was
Mm-hmm.
very
Mm-hmm.
unhealthy.
Right. Toxic. Yeah.
So to be able to walk out of that situation and not try to find a reason to hold on to it,
Okay. Okay.
is like a great big step,
Exactly.
especially when you come from, you know, several other types of relationships that,
Mhm.
you know, devalue you over a
Right.
period.